Prepare to dive deep into one of hip-hop's most notorious sagas. From legendary rivalries to shocking accusations, we unravel the untold stories behind the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious Biggie, the power struggles that shaped the music industry, and the enduring impact on the culture today. With never-before-heard evidence and new revelations, this is a journey through the dark side of fame and the pursuit of truth. Stay tuned as we expose the intricate web of mystery and intrigue that continues to captivate the world. 7 years ago, I might have asked, did you hire someone to kill? But now, you handle things like a journalist. The music industry, particularly rap, is known for rivalries that often lead to diss tracks and public feuds. Unfortunately, some of these rivalries have escalated to violence, with several famous artists losing their lives in shootings. One of the most infamous cases is the death of the notorious Biggie, especially after the arrest of Diddy Combs, 6 months following the murder of Tupac Shakur, his former friend turned rival. Biggie, who was signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records, was shot and killed. Many theories and accusations have emerged, but the case remains unsolved. Several people, including rapper 50 Cent, have accused Diddy of being involved in Biggie's death. After Diddy's recent arrest, 50 Cent provided new evidence supporting his belief that Diddy orchestrated the murder. To understand this accusation, we must first look at Diddy's troubled relationship with other rappers. In the years leading up to the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, Diddy reportedly felt jealous of the close bond between the two artists. A Rolling Stone article interviewed Diddy's former colleagues, who revealed details about his alleged abusive behavior. Former Bad Boy Records president Kirk Burroughs claimed that Diddy felt slighted when Tupac and Biggie became friends. According to Burroughs, Diddy was envious, watching from the sidelines. Biggie was signed to Diddy's label, while Tupac was with Death Row Records, a rival label. Despite Diddy's efforts to befriend Tupac, the West Coast rapper showed no interest. Photographer Monique Bunn explained that Tupac didn't respect Diddy and viewed him as a corny executive, considering Biggie his equal. After Tupac was shot 5 times in a New York recording studio in 1994, he suspected Diddy and his Bad Boy team were behind the attack. This fueled tensions between Tupac and Biggie, which worsened after Tupac's 1996 murder in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. Less than a year later, Biggie was also killed in a similar drive-by in Los Angeles, at just 24 years old. Bunn also revealed that Biggie had planned to leave Bad Boy Records before his death, as he had told her personally. Almost 30 years later, Biggie's murder remains unsolved. On March 9, 1997, he was shot and killed while leaving a party. The killing was linked to the infamous East Coast-West Coast rap feud, sparking conspiracy theories and wrongful death lawsuits, none of which have resolved the case. Despite substantial evidence, no one has been charged, though Tupac's murder seems closer to being solved. Amid these unsolved cases, new claims and theories have resurfaced following Diddy's arrest. He was with Biggie on the night of the murder. In 2006, during his long-standing feud with Diddy, 50 Cent released a diss track suggesting Diddy knew who killed Biggie, with the lyrics, "Puffy know who hit that." While 50 Cent remains adamant that Diddy was involved, others have made similar accusations, including Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal. Deal's allegations about Biggie's death resurfaced during Diddy's prison time for unrelated charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. In an interview with The Art of Dialogue earlier this year, Deal refuted several claims about Biggie's death, expressing frustration over the inaccuracies in the stories. Deal, visibly emotional, described how Biggie died in his arms and how the incident still haunts him. He also shared that on the night of Biggie's murder, he knew something tragic was going to happen. Deal said that before leaving a party at Andre Harrell's house, Diddy told him he didn't have to attend. However, Deal chose to go because he sensed someone would be shot, though he did his best to ensure it wouldn't be Diddy. These are not the first accusations Deal has made, as his bitterness over Biggie's death has persisted. Even though Diddy has been arrested for other reasons, his former bodyguard continues to stir controversy with new claims about the night Biggie was killed. Diddy has faced numerous allegations of sexual assault, with 4 women accusing him of sexual and physical abuse. Among them is his longtime partner, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, who has filed lawsuits against him. In February, producer Rodney "Lil Rod" Jones also sued Diddy, claiming he was assaulted over the course of a year while staying at Diddy's residences and collaborating on music. Diddy has denied all accusations, calling them sickening and stating that people are seeking quick financial gain. In a December statement, he firmly declared, "I did not do any of the awful things being alleged," and vowed to fight to clear his name. In March 2024, federal authorities searched 2 of Diddy's homes as part of an ongoing investigation into alleged illegal activities. His attorney criticized the operation as an unprecedented ambush and a misuse of military-level force while maintaining Diddy's innocence. Known by various names, Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love, and Brother Love, Diddy is credited with transforming hip-hop in the 1990s. However, his career has been marred by controversy, including his long-standing feud with Tupac Shakur, which is once again in the spotlight following his recent arrest. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry in rap, fueled by Diddy's Bad Boy Records and Suge Knight's Death Row Records, has long connected Diddy to Tupac's murder. Despite these rumors, authorities have never formally investigated him. Eminem even suggested that Diddy was involved in Tupac's death. In 1993, Diddy founded Bad Boy Records, which helped launch the careers of the Notorious B.I.G. and Craig Mack. The following year, Tupac was shot during a recording session at Quad Studios, and while being taken away on a stretcher, he reportedly flipped off Biggie. Recently, a resurfaced video shows Tupac accusing Diddy of being involved in that 1994 shooting, just 2 years before Tupac's murder. The video has drawn renewed attention after Diddy's arrest, with people reflecting on his connections in the industry and his mentorship of artists like Usher and Justin Bieber. Additionally, old interviews with Tupac, including one with Vibe magazine, have been circulating on social media. In April 1995, Tupac accused Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, of being involved in the attack against him. During an interview, Tupac was asked if he believed Diddy played a role in the incident. He responded, "It's between me and him, and only he knows." On the day of the shooting, Tupac had expressed concerns about his safety before heading to Quad Studios to record a song with Lil Sean. As he approached the building, someone shouted from above. Tupac told Vibe magazine that it was Lil Cease, Biggie's associate, and seeing him made Tupac feel at ease. However, as Tupac and his entourage approached the elevator, he noticed a group of men who seemed connected to Biggie, but they didn't appear to be security. Tupac recalled pressing the elevator button and turning around just as the men drew guns, shouting, "Nobody move! Everybody on the floor!" He was unsure of what to do, and during the attack, Tupac was shot 5 times, sustaining serious injuries, including a bullet that grazed his skull. Despite his wounds, Tupac and his crew managed to reach the upper floor using the elevator. "I'm limping and everything, but I don't feel anything. It's numb," Tupac said. Once they reached the studio, Tupac said he was terrified by what he saw. Upon arriving, Tupac claimed to have seen Diddy, Biggie, and others. Their shocked reactions and lack of response made him question whether they had known about the attack beforehand. "Nobody approached me. Nobody would look at me," Tupac said in the interview, which took place 2 years before his death. He mentioned that even Andre Harrell, who had recently invited him to dinner and offered him a job on New York Undercover, avoided making eye contact. Tupac also noted that Diddy kept his distance, despite knowing how much Tupac had helped Biggie before he became famous. In the aftermath of the shooting, Diddy denied having any knowledge of the attack. In a 2008 statement, Diddy called the story beyond ridiculous and completely false, asserting that neither he nor Biggie had any involvement or prior knowledge of the incident. In another interview with a hip-hop publication, Diddy reiterated that Bad Boy Records had no connection to the attack, saying, "He ain't mad at the guys that shot him. He knows who they are. If you ask him, he knows. Everybody on the street knows. But he's not stepping to them because he knows he won't get away with it. Don't scapegoat us." Meanwhile, Suge Knight, founder of Death Row Records, made veiled remarks about Diddy and Bad Boy Records during a speech, though he didn't mention Diddy by name. Suge said, "Any artist who wants to be an artist and stay a star, without the executive producer being in all the videos, all on the records, dancing, come to Death Row." Diddy later shared on Drink Champs that he had confronted Suge but successfully de-escalated the situation by avoiding retaliation. "I approached him and asked if Suge Knight's comments were aimed at Diddy, but he said they were actually about Jermaine Dupri. In 1995, Suge Knight offered $1.4 million to bail Tupac out of jail, and in return, Tupac signed with Death Row Records. Soon after, Tupac released All Eyes on Me, the label's most successful album at the time. After Tupac's conviction for sexual abuse, Diddy visited him at Rikers Island, assuring him that no one from Bad Boy Records was involved in the previous attack on him. Tupac, however, took offense to Biggie's song Who Shot Ya, feeling it was disrespectful. In response, he released Hit 'Em Up, a diss track targeting Bad Boy Entertainment. The song's video satirized Biggie, Diddy, and Lil' Kim, becoming one of the most iconic diss tracks in hip-hop history. Later, Biggie released Long Kiss Goodnight, which many speculated was about Tupac. Diddy denied the rumor, saying that if Biggie had wanted to diss Tupac, he would have called him out directly. Tupac was shot on September 7, 1996, while riding in a black BMW with Suge Knight near the Las Vegas Strip. A white Cadillac pulled up beside them at a red light, and shots were fired, according to police reports. Both Tupac and Suge were rushed to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, but Tupac died from respiratory failure, which led to cardiac arrest after doctors removed one of his lungs. Despite their efforts, they couldn't stop the bleeding, and Tupac was pronounced dead at 4:03 p.m. Later in 1997, Diddy and Snoop Dogg appeared on The Steve Harvey Show to call for an end to the East Coast-West Coast feud, with Snoop stating, "Kids around the world are watching. By calling for a truce, we're giving them something to live for." Tragically, 6 months after Tupac's death, another drive-by shooting took place in Los Angeles, killing Biggie after a Vibe after-party. A Chevrolet Impala SS pulled up beside Biggie's Suburban, and the driver, a black male, fired 4 shots from a 9mm pistol. Tupac had previously accused associates of Diddy of orchestrating the 1994 attack at Quad Studios. An article by the Los Angeles Times initially supported these claims, but it was later retracted after fact-checkers determined the FBI reports were faked. More recently, in 2023, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested for his involvement in Tupac's death. When asked in a police interview whether Diddy was involved, Davis responded, "Yes, yeah, I think." Mike Dorsey, director of Murder Rap, Inside the Biggie and Tupac murders, revealed new audio recordings where Keefe D claims he struggled to receive a $1 million payment from the founder of Bad Boy for carrying out the hit. Court documents accessed by Fox 5 show that Davis publicly stated he only incriminated himself and wasn't implicating others. However, this contradicts his claims that Sean Combs paid Eric Von Martin $1 million for the killings and even arranged a secret phone call with Terrence Brown, the driver, who was still alive at the time. Eminem also stirred controversy by implying Diddy's involvement in Tupac's death during his Killshot diss track. He rapped about Diddy's alleged responsibility for the deaths of both Tupac and Biggie, comparing the events to a domino effect. Eminem took further jabs at MGK, who was signed to Bad Boy Records, stating, "The day you put out a hit is the day Diddy admits he put the hit out that got Pac killed." However, later in the song, Eminem diffused the tension by adding, "I'm just playing, Diddy, you know I love you." Diddy didn't stay quiet on the matter. During a now-deleted episode of the Joe Budden podcast, he addressed the controversy, hinting that the situation with Eminem had been resolved privately. He added, "There's nothing to say about it, it's in my hands." Meanwhile, rapper Jay Electronica weighed in on Twitter, warning Eminem, "How dare you accuse Diddy of killing Tupac? You better tread carefully before I bring down your ivory tower like Solomon did to the Templar Knights." Separately, rapper 50 Cent, real name Curtis Jackson, announced a Netflix documentary series about Sean Diddy Combs. The series, produced by 50 Cent's G-Unit Film and Television and directed by Alexandria Stapleton, will delve into more than just the well-known headlines, covering allegations of sexual assault, violent abuse, racketeering, and sex trafficking. 50 Cent emphasized the importance of giving a voice to the voiceless and sharing nuanced perspectives. While acknowledging the disturbing allegations, 50 Cent urged viewers to remember that Diddy's story doesn't define hip-hop as a whole. He also stated that proceeds from the documentary will help victims of sexual assault. There is no release date yet. In contrast to Netflix's documentary on Vince McMahon, which was criticized for avoiding the real story, the hope is that this series will offer a more honest portrayal, as Diddy faces potential federal charges, which could result in more prison time. The unresolved mystery of Biggie's death continues to fascinate the public. As we reach the end of this story, the questions still linger. The legacies of Tupac and Biggie remain as powerful as ever, transcending music and leaving an indelible mark on pop culture. While many pieces of the puzzle have fallen into place, the full truth behind these tragic events remains elusive. But one thing is clear: these stories are far from over. As new evidence surfaces and the search for justice continues, the impact of these iconic figures will live on, reminding us of both the brilliance and the darkness that fame can bring.